Good evening, my friends. Tonight, I invite you into a space beyond time, a space where the noise of the world grows quiet, and the deeper truths of your being rise gently to the surface. For a few moments, let everything else fall away. Let the day's weight loosen its grip. Let the thoughts that cling to you soften, dissolve, disappear like mist at dusk. Because tonight, we step into a different kind of knowing. There is a state of consciousness, ancient, rare, yet effortlessly available, that very few ever learn to use. A state hidden beneath the surface of your everyday awareness. A state where the mind grows still, the heart opens, and the deeper layers of your reality reveal themselves with clarity. This is not a technique. This is not a ritual. This is a return to what has always been within you. Tonight, I will guide you there. Not as a teacher standing above you, but as a companion walking beside you. Together, we will cross the threshold into a place where the limits you have carried for years begin to dissolve, where the boundaries between the seen and the unseen grow thin, and where your true power, quiet, steady, unmistakable, begins to awaken. So breathe. Settle. Allow yourself to arrive fully in this moment. You are here for a reason. You are hearing these words at the exact moment your soul is ready to receive them. Welcome, my friend. Our journey begins now. Tonight, I am going to reveal to you a state of consciousness few have ever understood, yet every human being drifts through it naturally. A state so powerful, so quietly transformative, that when you learn to use it deliberately, manifestation no longer feels like effort, but inevitability. I call this state the still point frequency. It is the hidden key behind effortless creation. The missing link that explains why some techniques work only temporarily, why affirmations sometimes fall flat, why visualizations feel forced, and why willpower alone cannot reshape your reality. Because the still point frequency exists beneath all of that, beneath resistance, beneath fear, beneath the rigid logic of the conscious mind. It is the moment when the noise of thought softens just enough for the inner world to speak clearly. A moment where doubt cannot survive, where the mind does not argue, where what you feel becomes what you create. And here is the most extraordinary part. You enter this state every single day without realizing it. A few seconds here, a minute there, always unnoticed, always unused. Yet in those small, fleeting moments, the doorway to your subconscious stands wide open. This is not advanced. This is not complicated. This is not something only monks or mystics can access. It is simple, natural, built into the structure of your consciousness. And tonight, you will learn how to slip into it on purpose, how to recognize its subtle signature, how to harness its softness, and how to impress your desires directly upon the deepest part of your being with no resistance at all. Once you understand the still point frequency, your manifestations will no longer feel like something you are chasing, but something that is rising to meet you. To understand the still point frequency, you must first understand the territory between your thoughts. Not the thoughts themselves, but the slender space that appears just before a new one begins. It is a threshold state, subtle, liminal, where the mind has not yet chosen its next direction. Science calls this a transitional neural phase, a brief dip in activity where the brain shifts between its familiar operating rhythms. Mystics, however, have always known this space. They described it as a doorway, a window, a thin veil between the waking self and the deeper intelligence underneath. The still point frequency lives right there. It is softer than theta, lighter than alpha, and yet more potent than both. It's not a wave pattern you enter, but a moment your consciousness naturally passes through whenever your internal chatter loosens its grip. Think of it as the twilight between thought and no thought. Not silence, but a gently dimmed mind. You've felt it many times. In the breath right before you fall asleep. In the pause after a long sigh. In that moment when your eyes glaze over and you forget what you were worrying about. In the instant after a question, before the answer forms. Those are all brief touches of the still point frequency. In this state, the boundaries between your conscious and subconscious thin dramatically. The mind is still awake, yet softened. The deeper layers are open, yet unguarded. You are neither fully thinking nor fully drifting, just resting on the threshold where suggestion is most powerful. It feels like standing in a quiet hallway, aware that behind one door lies the ordinary world, and behind the other lies the world you are creating. In the still point frequency, That second door remains unlocked. Why does manifestation become effortless here? Because resistance cannot take shape. Resistance requires mental activity, logic, doubt, analysis. But at still point, those functions dim. Your awareness is receptive, permeable. Impressions sink in instantly, as if your desires are being written directly onto the fabric of your subconscious. This is why monks and mystics across traditions sought this state through breathwork, chanting, or meditation. They didn't have modern terms for it, but they understood its power. Today, neuroscience can observe these liminal dips in brainwave patterns, yet most people still pass through them unconsciously, never realizing the creative force they hold. The still point frequency is not exotic. It is not rare. But when you learn to enter it deliberately, it becomes your most reliable portal to inner transformation. Tonight, you will learn to step through that doorway. 3 messages left. Upgrade to ChatGPT Plus to keep the conversation going. Upgrade. The still point frequency is powerful for one reason above all others. It is the single moment when the conscious mind steps aside without falling asleep. It loosens its grip, softens its edges, and, just for a breath, stops guarding the doorway to your deeper self. And in that brief opening, the subconscious becomes completely accessible. Most people try to manifest from a fully awake, fully defensive mind. They speak affirmations while the analytical part of them is still judging every word. They visualize goals while another voice whispers, "But what if this doesn't work?" The conscious mind means well, but it is built to evaluate, compare, analyze, and doubt. It protects you by questioning everything. Yet creation doesn't happen there. Creation happens in the subconscious, the realm that accepts impressions literally, emotionally, and immediately. Whatever it receives as true, it begins to express through your behaviors, your expectations, and the opportunities you notice. This is why the still point frequency is so potent. It dissolves the gap between the idea and the impression. At this threshold, judgment drops away without effort. Analysis quiets. The inner critic cannot form words. Logic becomes transparent. There is no friction between what you desire and the part of you that normally resists it. The subconscious, in this softened moment, stands without armor. It is open, receptive, impressionable. It does not argue. It does not negotiate. It simply absorbs. This is the precise moment when intentions sink in like ink on wet paper. You are not forcing belief. You are placing it gently into a mind that is biologically and energetically designed to receive it. This is why mystics spoke of the sacred pause, the moment between thoughts when inner reality can be rewritten. In still point, the subconscious does not ask whether something is realistic. It only asks whether it feels true. And the emotions you hold in that state, desire, gratitude, certainty, become instructions. To the subconscious, they are not wishes. They are blueprints. Your subconscious obeys whatever is impressed upon it as truth. This is not metaphor. It is the mechanism behind every habit, fear, preference, memory, intuition, and moment of inspiration you've ever had. The still point frequency gives you conscious access to that mechanism. It is the ideal moment for imprinting because, in that quiet and unguarded space, your desires are no longer requests, they become commands. And your subconscious will always carry them. There are 2 moments each day when the still point frequency opens naturally, without effort, without technique. These are the access windows, brief descents and ascents, where your consciousness moves through the threshold state by design. The first window appears as you drift toward sleep. Not when you're fully awake, and not yet dreaming, but in that slow unraveling where thoughts begin to lose their edges. You feel yourself softening, dissolving, sinking inward. The mind stops gripping reality so tightly. Images blur. Logic loosens. This is the descent. A delicate slide into the still point frequency. Most people waste this moment. They lie in bed replaying old arguments. They scroll through their phones. They review responsibilities. They let worry be the last impression their subconscious receives before it opens fully. And because the subconscious is impressionable at that threshold, it absorbs those anxieties as instructions, carrying them quietly into the next day. But not you. Now you know the truth. The second access window arrives in the morning, the ascent. For a few precious seconds, you are awake but not yet fully you. Your identity has not snapped back into place. Your memories haven't assembled. You exist in a dreamlike haze, floating in a soft space where the subconscious still holds the front seat. This moment is just as powerful as the descent, yet most people sabotage it the same way, by reaching for news, notifications, emails, stepping instantly into stress and reactivity. They let the outside world flood the inner world before their subconscious has even closed its gates. But you will treat these moments as sacred, because in both transitions, the fading at night and the rising at dawn, you pass directly through the still point frequency. If you consciously place your desires, visualizations, or emotional truths in these windows, they land in the deepest part of your being without resistance. These windows are brief, yes, but they are the purest, most natural paths into the creative depth of your mind. Twice a day, without fail, your inner door opens. And now, you know how to walk through it. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info. Entering the still point frequency consciously is far simpler than most methods taught for meditation or manifestation. You are not forcing the mind into silence. You are not battling thoughts or wrestling yourself into calmness. You are guiding your awareness into a natural current, one it already knows intimately. Begin with the breath. Not deep, dramatic breathing, just a gentle slowing. Inhale softly, exhale a little longer. Imagine the breath settling your inner world the way dust settles in a quiet room. With each exhale, your muscles release a fraction more tension. Your shoulders loosen. Your jaw softens. Your chest opens slightly. You are signaling to your nervous system that it may stand down. Now, let your attention drift inward, not sharply, but as though you are listening to a faraway sound. Your goal is not to eliminate thought. Instead, allow thoughts to appear and dissolve on their own, like clouds passing across a dim sky. You are not chasing them. You are not resisting them. You are simply watching them from a few steps back. As the mind slows, you will feel a subtle shift, almost imperceptible at first. A gentle sinking, a sense of dropping into yourself, as if descending one level deeper into awareness. Your outer senses dim slightly. The world feels quieter, softer, farther away. This is the threshold. Stay here without effort. If you try to hold the state, you will lose it. If you simply rest in it, it will deepen on its own. You'll know you've entered the still point frequency when time feels slightly slowed, when the space behind your thoughts feels larger than the thoughts themselves, when your breaths feel like they are moving through your entire being, not just your lungs. Some feel a warmth in the chest. Some feel a gentle pressure at the forehead. Some feel nothing physical at all, just a calm clarity, like standing in a quiet room where something important is about to be spoken. This is the gateway. When you reach this state, the subconscious is open, unguarded, and listening. Whatever you place here, images, emotions, declarations, will sink in effortlessly. You have crossed into the still point frequency by choice. And from here, creation begins. Once you have entered the still point frequency, the key to imprinting your desires lies not in images, not in words, not in elaborate mental constructs. The key lies in feeling. Feeling is the language of the subconscious. It does not respond to arguments or explanations. It does not weigh evidence or debate possibilities. It responds to the vibration of certainty. It responds to the truth of your emotion. Visualization can be helpful, but only when paired with feeling. Words can guide you, but only when anchored in sensation. Alone, they are fragile. Alone, they can be resisted by the conscious mind. But when you create a feeling that embodies the reality you desire, you are no longer speaking a suggestion. You are sending a direct instruction into the receptive mind beneath thought. This is why the core technique of the still point frequency focuses on the already done emotional tone. You do not try to feel excitement for a future possibility. You do not hope, you do not wish, you do not imagine someday. You step quietly and confidently into the reality you are creating as if it already exists. You feel what it would feel like to have, to be, to live the desire now. Certain. undeniable. Begin by gently recalling your intention. Then shift inward to the bodily sensation of already having it. Notice the lightness, the ease, the subtle expansion in your chest. Notice how the mind softens when it recognizes that truth. Hold this feeling in the still point frequency without forcing it. Let it deepen naturally. Do not chase it. Do not analyze it. Let it saturate your awareness. Remember this essential truth. What is impressed must be expressed. The subconscious does not separate your inner reality from your outer experience. If it accepts a feeling as true, it will orchestrate your world to match. By focusing on the emotional reality of your desire in the still point frequency, you are planting a seed directly into the fertile soil of your subconscious. That seed will grow quietly, steadily, inevitably, manifesting in your life in ways both obvious and subtle. Feeling is the direct line to creation. When you feel as if it is already done, you bypass resistance, bypass doubt, bypass the endless debate of the conscious mind. And creation becomes not effortful, but effortless. This is the true power of the still point frequency. Once you have impressed a feeling into the still point frequency, something remarkable begins to happen. A feedback loop forms between your state and your emotion. The deeper you allow yourself to rest in the still point frequency, the more vivid and real the feeling becomes. And the more real the feeling becomes, the deeper your consciousness sinks into the state. It is a self-reinforcing cycle. Each breath, each gentle moment of awareness, strengthens the other. The subconscious, sensing certainty and calm, opens further. Resistance fades. Doubt dissolves. What began as a fleeting impression becomes a solid, unmistakable instruction. This is why a few minutes in this state can be more effective than hours of effortful visualization during the day. Days, weeks, even months of trying to convince the conscious mind pale in comparison. Here, the mind is soft, the doors are open, and the impression is received immediately, without interference. You do not need to struggle. You do not need to repeat affirmations endlessly. You simply hold the feeling, allow the still point frequency to deepen naturally, and let the subconscious absorb it. One clear impression in this state carries more weight than 100 forced repetitions elsewhere. And as this feedback loop strengthens, the feeling itself becomes more alive, more convincing, more real. The subconscious recognizes it as truth. Creation begins. A few minutes here, twice a day, is enough. And from this simple cycle emerges profound transformation. Let me tell you about a woman named Clara. 4 years, she had struggled to create the life she wanted. She worked tirelessly, practiced affirmations, visualized her goals, yet nothing seemed to stick. Every night, exhausted and anxious, she would lie in bed thinking about bills, deadlines, and all the things she feared might go wrong. Unknowingly, she was programming her subconscious for lack, for struggle, for limitation. Clara believed that effort and worry were necessary. She thought that if she imagined enough, forced enough, or focused enough on her goals, she would eventually create change. But no matter how hard she tried during the day, her subconscious received the opposite instruction while she slept: I am behind. I am struggling. I am not enough. Then, one evening, Clara discovered the still point frequency. She learned that the moments just before sleep, and the first moments upon waking, were far more powerful than any daytime effort. She learned how to slow her breath, allow her thoughts to fade, and enter the threshold state consciously. Most importantly, she learned to impress the feeling of already done, the calm certainty of her desires fulfilled, directly into her subconscious. That night, instead of falling asleep worrying, Clara held the feeling of abundance, of success, of ease. She repeated the practice in the morning, for just a few minutes. And day by day, subtle shifts began to appear. Opportunities she had never seen before arrived. Small coincidences multiplied into larger ones. Within weeks, her life felt lighter, more aligned, more effortless. Clara's transformation was not the result of struggle, long hours, or complicated techniques. It was the result of simple, consistent, effortless access to the natural state her mind had always offered. She learned to work with consciousness, not against it, and in doing so, she finally created the life she had been seeking. The night is a sacred time. The day's work is done, and the mind begins to release its grip on reality. This is your moment, the descent into the still point frequency, where the subconscious is most receptive, most alive, and waiting for instruction. As you lie in bed, allow your body to settle. Feel the weight of your arms and legs against the mattress. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. With each exhale, notice the day slipping away, the thoughts slowing, the mind growing quieter. You are not forcing sleep. You are not chasing calm. You are simply allowing yourself to descend. Once you feel that gentle sinking, the familiar twilight of awareness, you are in the perfect state to impress your desire. Choose one desire only. Not 5. Not 10. 1. The simpler the focus, the more powerfully it lands. Hold the image of already having it. Not the excitement of gaining it, not the hope that it might come, but the calm, certain feeling of possession, of completion, of reality already fulfilled. Let this feeling settle into your body. Feel it in your chest, your spine, your limbs. Let it expand softly throughout your awareness. This is the instruction your subconscious will carry through the night. Allow this feeling to be the last impression you experience before sleep. Do not chase other thoughts. Do not engage with worries, schedules, or distractions. Let the sensation of your wish fulfilled linger gently, like a final note of music fading into silence. And then, simply rest. Sleep will come. And while you sleep, your subconscious, the most faithful creator you have, will begin to orchestrate your reality in alignment with the state you impressed. This is the power of the nighttime ritual. Simple, effortless, and profoundly transformative. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info. The first moments after waking are just as sacred as the moments before sleep. Your mind is soft, your awareness liminal, your subconscious still open. This is your second window into the still point frequency, the ascent. As you awaken, do not move immediately. Do not rush to open your eyes. Do not reach for your phone, your schedule, or the demands of the day. Instead, remain still, half in sleep, half in consciousness, suspended in that quiet threshold. Before fully returning to beta awareness, return to the feeling you impressed last night. Feel it once again in your chest, your spine, your limbs. Feel the certainty, the calm, the quiet confidence of your desire already fulfilled. You are not hoping. You are not wishing. You are simply acknowledging a truth that exists within you. Hold this feeling for 2 to 3 minutes. Allow it to saturate your awareness without forcing it. Breathe gently. Let the sensation flow naturally, deepening your connection to the state, reinforcing the impression you planted during the night. These few minutes are enough. The subconscious, still receptive, absorbs the instruction immediately. The day begins in alignment with the state you impressed. Your thoughts, actions, and perceptions will flow from this internal truth. By consistently honoring this morning ritual, you harness the power of the still point frequency twice daily, before sleep and upon waking, ensuring that your desires are not fleeting wishes but living instructions the subconscious is ready to manifest. This is effortless creation. This is direct access. The first moments after waking are some of the most powerful moments of your day. Your mind has not yet fully engaged with the world. Your conscious awareness is gentle, liminal, soft, still lingering in the threshold of sleep. This is your second access window into the still point frequency. As you awaken, do not move immediately. Do not open your eyes fully. Do not reach for your phone, your schedule, or the day's responsibilities. Instead, remain still, suspended between sleep and wakefulness, floating in the quiet space where your subconscious remains fully receptive. In this delicate state, return to the feeling you impressed the night before. Feel it once again in your chest, your spine, your limbs. Feel the calm certainty of your desire already fulfilled. You are not hoping, wishing, or imagining. You are simply acknowledging a reality your subconscious has already accepted. Hold this feeling gently for 2 to 3 minutes. Let it deepen naturally, saturating your awareness. Breathe softly. Do not chase it. Do not force it. Simply let the certainty flow through you, reaffirming the instruction planted during the night. These few minutes are enough. Your subconscious, still pliable and impressionable, receives the instruction fully. Your thoughts, perceptions, and actions throughout the day will flow from this inner truth. By honoring this morning ritual consistently, you harness the full power of the still point frequency twice daily, before sleep and upon waking, allowing your desires to take root effortlessly, naturally, and with certainty. This is the gateway to effortless creation. Effortless creation begins with a simple truth. Your subconscious is always working. It never rests. It does not judge. It does not hesitate. While you sleep, while you sit in quiet reflection, while you simply breathe and feel, your inner creative power is orchestrating your reality. Your job is simple. Impress the feeling of your desire fulfilled. That is all. Nothing more. Do not force. Do not strive. Do not wrestle with outcomes or timelines. Place the feeling gently into the receptive mind and let it settle. Your subconscious takes over from there. It builds the bridge of events, aligning circumstances, opportunities, people, and actions to match the reality you impressed. It works quietly, steadily, invisibly, transforming the internal truth into external reality. This is the Sabbath of creation, the rest where your effort ends, but your reality begins. You do your work by feeling, by assuming, by trusting. Then you release. The subconscious, faithful and precise, carries it forward without complaint, without resistance. Creation is not struggle. Creation is a partnership between your conscious choice and the infinite power within you. When you impress the feeling, you have already begun. The rest, everything that follows, happens naturally. This is effortless creation, and it is your birthright. There is a deeper truth beneath all manifestation techniques, a law that governs reality itself. The world mirrors your inner state. Everything you see, everything you experience, is a reflection of what already exists within you. Creation is not an outside-in process. It is an inside-out process. When you impress a feeling into the still point frequency, when you assume the reality of your desire is already done, you are not calling it from somewhere distant. You are revealing it. You are aligning with what is already yours in the unseen. The universe does not grant your wish. It simply mirrors back what your consciousness has already accepted as truth. You are not attracting. You are revealing. You are not persuading circumstances to change. You are allowing your inner state to express itself outwardly. Every event, every encounter, every synchronicity is the reflection of your internal assumption. When you understand this, your work becomes effortless. Your job is not to chase, push, or struggle. Your job is to assume, to feel, to know. And in doing so, reality conforms naturally, inevitably, and beautifully to the truth you hold within. This is the law of inner assumption. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Even during the busiest parts of your day, you can access brief moments of the still point frequency. These are micro windows, 30 to 60 seconds, where the subconscious remains receptive if you allow it. They are not deep meditations. They are quick drops into the feeling of already having your desire. Begin by slowing your breath. A single calm inhale followed by a slightly longer exhale signals to your nervous system that it may soften. Relax your facial muscles. Unclench your jaw, smooth your brow, let the corners of your mouth soften. Let the tension in your shoulders and chest dissolve. Now, for a brief moment, return to the feeling of your desire already fulfilled. Feel the certainty. Feel the calm confidence. Even 30 seconds of this focused state can leave an imprint on your subconscious that echoes throughout the day. You can do this anywhere, sitting at your desk, waiting in line, or stepping away for a moment of quiet. These mini practices are not complicated, but when repeated consistently, they reinforce the deeper impressions made in your morning and evening windows. Even in the middle of activity, you can drop into creation, planting seeds that grow quietly beneath awareness. Let me share a brief story about a man named David. He was busy, overworked, and often felt that manifestation techniques were impossible to fit into his hectic schedule. He wanted change but thought he didn't have the time to practice visualization for hours or create elaborate rituals. Then he learned about daytime access moments, the micro windows of the still point frequency. David began taking just 30 to 60 seconds at different points in his day, during a coffee break, waiting at a stoplight, or before answering emails. In those moments, he slowed his breath, relaxed his body, and return to the feeling of already having his desire, confidence, clarity, and abundance. The results were subtle at first. A conversation would go differently. An unexpected opportunity would appear. But within a few weeks, those small, consistent impressions accumulated. His mindset shifted, his confidence grew, and circumstances began aligning with the reality he was holding inside. David's transformation was simple, effortless, and repeatable. It did not require long hours or struggle. The method worked because it honored the natural receptivity of the subconscious. Day by day, these small drops of feeling compounded, proving that the still-point frequency is universal, accessible, and effective for anyone willing to use it deliberately. Even a minute, repeated consciously, changes everything. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check info. Here is a simple prescription for the next 7 days, a 1-week challenge to anchor your new understanding. Each day, commit to just 2 minutes in the morning and 2 minutes at night. That is all. 4 minutes daily, devoted entirely to the still-point frequency. Focus on one desire only. Do not scatter your attention across many wishes. Choose a single outcome, and immerse yourself in the feeling of it already fulfilled. Calm certainty, not excitement. Assurance, not hope. Let this be your last thought before sleep and your first upon waking. Consistency is the key. 4 minutes, twice a day, for 7 consecutive days, is more powerful than hours of forced effort or repeated affirmations scattered across weeks. By the end of this week, notice the subtle shifts. Opportunities, synchronicities, and inspirations will begin to appear, quietly, naturally. Proof that the subconscious is working effortlessly in alignment with your chosen state. ChatGPT can make mistakes. You were not here by accident. Every word you have heard tonight, every pause and breath, has been part of a deliberate unfolding. Your soul brought you to this moment, ready to receive what you have always known at a deeper level. The power to create, to impress, to transform, to manifest effortlessly from the inside out. Understand this clearly. The power has never been outside of you. It has always lived in the silent spaces between your thoughts, in the gentle descent and ascent of your awareness, in the still-point frequency that you now know how to access. You are not waiting for reality to change. You are revealing it. You are not chasing life. You are allowing it to align with your inner state. Carry this knowledge with reverence. Practice the rituals morning and night. Step lightly through your day with awareness, using micro-moments to remind your subconscious of the truth you hold. The world outside will inevitably reflect the state within. Tonight, you have been given a key. It is simple. It is subtle. Yet it is profound. Use it deliberately. Use it consistently. Trust the process. And remember, this is only the beginning. As you continue on this path, deeper truths, greater wisdom, and more powerful techniques will unfold naturally. For now, rest in the knowledge of your own limitless power. Walk gently, feel deeply, and live fully in the reality you are creating. Until we meet again in consciousness, keep assuming, keep feeling, and keep knowing. You are already whole, already powerful, already capable of all you desire. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info.